my God, I love how this person is living. They have 3 cars, they always go on trips, they do this, they do that. You don't know if they are living on credit cards, if they have basic to pay, if they're living in debt. You don't even know if they're doing 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 5 jobs, even 6 jobs. In Canada, people do a lot of things. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, please do not leave without subscribing to my YouTube channel. In this video, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you common mistakes that new immigrants make when they just migrate to Canada. Some of these mistakes, I also made them, and I know so many of my friends that also made these mistakes as well. So if this is something that you're interested in, make sure to watch this video till the end. The first mistake I see a lot of people make, new immigrants make when they come to Canada, is avoiding to take credit cards. In Canada, a lot of things that you do in Canada is tied to your credit score or your credit history. So for example, if you want to get a loan from the bank, if you want to get insurance, if you want to buy a house, mortgage, even rent a house, you need to have a good credit score. And to build your credit score, you need to have a credit card. From my home country, Nigeria, all I had was my debit card. I used my debit card to make transactions, to do any form of transactions that I want to do. But coming here, I realized that credit card is good because it helps you to build your credit score. Having a credit card is more like having a borrowed money, like you borrow the money from the bank. So the borrowed money is in this card and you can use it whenever you want, but you have to pay back, of course, with tiny interest in it. But I'm always of the opinion that I don't want to spend what I don't have. Why am I taking credit card? That was the idea for me when I came to Canada. But I quickly realized that you need to have a credit card to build your credit score, to be able to access different things that the system offers you, like loan, renting a house, getting insurance, and so many other things. So please don't make that mistake. Get your credit card. So the next mistake I see a lot of new immigrants make here in Canada is that
this is my favorite episode. Oh, I know that face, but from where? Who is this? Okay, let's give Starlens a shot. Starlens.ai is your go-to app when you know the face, but can't place the name. Identify actors instantly, discover their best films, and make your upcoming movie night legendary. Was he in this movie? I was able to find all 3 of my favorite actors. Starlens.ai, know your stars. Visit Starlens now.
On the flip side, they take more credit than they can actually handle. In Canada, after you've been in the country for a while, it can be easy to get credit card. You can even get like 10,000, 20,000 credit card. They spend the credit card and they're unable to pay back the credit card, and that's a big issue because that's basically you living above your means. And I find that a lot of new immigrants, they do that and they end up paying credit card balance for 2 years, 3 years, and this can prevent them from saving. It can prevent them from making investments, buying assets, or even living like the baby boy or baby girl lifestyle that you wanted to live, just because you're paying bills back to back every other month. So this is one mistake I see a lot of people make. Still talking about credit cards, the next mistake I see a lot of people make when they come into Canada, I personally made this mistake, is not using your credit card. So now that you have a credit card, it is not okay not to use your credit card. So before now, I thought that not using my credit card, it will help me not to get into debt. Like I mentioned in this video, I don't like to spend money that I don't have. I don't want to enter gbese. I don't want to be in debt. I thought that not using my credit card will help me avoid being in debt. So I was always using my debit card. For some reason, I'll go to shop and I'll use my debit card. I then realized that not using my credit card will not help me build my credit score. So I have to use my credit card to be able to build my credit score. You not paying your credit card is what is wrong. And also, not using your credit card is also wrong because it will not help you build your credit score. You need to use your credit card to be able to build your credit score. What's important is that you pay back your credit card balances on time, right? So you can get a good credit score. And this will help you to be able to access like the different things that I've mentioned, insurance and every other thing I've mentioned in this video. Also, another mistake that people make when they come to Canada is that they don't do enough research. It's very important that you keep doing research while you're in Canada. Research is very important. You need to research the schools that your children need to go to, research the environment, the neighborhood that you plan to live in, the province, or the region that you plan to live in. You need to do all of this research. You need to research jobs, like the kind of jobs that people are that are paying more in Canada, the industries that are doing well, the kind of industries you want to work in. The research doesn't just stop. Doing research will help you to make the right decisions. It will aid your decision-making process. Another very common mistake I see new immigrants make when they come to Canada is lifestyle comparison. Comparing your life to people that are here. In life, everybody's journey is different. Some people will come, land in Canada, and within a week or 2 weeks, they've gotten a job and they're settled, they're making good money, while some people will come and it can take them months, even years to get a good job. So I just think that it is unwise for you to be comparing yourself to someone else. Everyone in life is running their own race. Everybody's journey is different. You can be comparing yourself to someone you don't even know if they are living. You say, oh my God, I love how this person is living. They have 3 cars, they always go on trips, they do this, they do that. You don't know if they are living on credit cards, if they have basic to pay, if they are living in debt. You don't know, so you don't even know if they are doing 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 5 jobs, even 6 jobs. In Canada, people do a lot of things. So don't compare yourself with other people. You just landed, take your time to settle in. From doing my research and even talking to people, people would say that it can take up to 2 to 3 years, even 4 or 5 years to fully settle in Canada. You need to give yourself time. Don't stress yourself by comparing yourself to other people. Please don't make this mistake. It will give you a headache. You'll just be stressing yourself unnecessarily and say, oh my God, this person has bought a house. They just came to Canada. Oh, this person has this car. Don't compare yourself. You will get there, just enjoy your journey as you go. The most important thing is that you're making progress every day as you go along your journey as a new immigrant in Canada. I think one thing people don't realize is the fact that when you immigrate from your country to a new country, especially as an adult, you're living your life back home. You're packing it into 2 or 3 suitcases and you're coming to start over in a new place. Please give yourself time to settle, to understand the system, and even if things are not working for you when you just came, it will get better. As far as you put in the work, it will get better. So don't rush the process. Don't stress about it. Some people will compare their lives to people. Oh my God, this person has this person has that. And you end up having headache. You end up not focusing on what you're supposed to do to get better, to even settle in Canada. So please, if you're watching this video, you plan to live in Canada, or you're a newly landed immigrant, do not compare yourself to other people. You don't know their journey. What you know is you. What you know is your own. So don't. You can admire, right? There's nothing to. You can admire and say, oh, I would like to have this. Yes, it's fine. And you can also even ask them questions. Well, how did you get here? It is fine to get inspiration, to admire people. But one thing you should not do, one thing you should try not to do is to compare and just put yourself under unnecessary pressure. Please don't do that. Another mistake I see a lot of people do, in fact, I did this one very well. I did it for even months, was converting price of items here in Canada to the currency from your home country. So I'm Nigerian, and when I go to the mall, or when I want to buy something online and I see the price of something, I'm like, why is this in 50 CAD? This is so much. And I'll quickly bring out my phone and I will go to the calculator and start converting. This thing in Nigeria, this is how it will cost. Why is it so expensive here? You know, I kept converting and converting. And then my husband would be like, stop converting. You know, this is where you're living now. So if you want to quickly settle into the system, and if you plan to make Canada your home, I would advise that you should just stop converting the current, what you're trying to buy, to your home currency, because it's not like you're spending your home currency. I'm not spending Naira, I'm spending CADs. Why am I converting? Like, what would that even do for me? After converting, do I end up paying in Naira? Do I pay a lower fee? No, I still end up paying that amount, you know, so it doesn't help you mentally at all. So this point I'm about to mention hits closely, because when I just got here, I usually would think that everybody that is black or Nigerian will be nice to me. But that's where I made the mistake. That's where I was wrong. You know, coming here, I always had high expectations of my fellow black people, my fellow Nigerians. You know, when I go out, when I would see like a black person, I'll just smile at the person. And then when I maybe realize the person is Nigerian, you know, I'll be happy. I want to talk to the person, you know. Few times I've tried to speak to people that are Nigerians, and then they'll just give me one kind of look like this, and I'm not Korean, I'm just trying to be nice to you. I mean, it's just nice to see that you have the same color of skin, and you're Nigerian. You know, there are times where I'll be walking by and I'll hear somebody speaking Yoruba on the phone. Maybe they're on the call, or they're working. Two people are working and then they're speaking Yoruba, and I'm like, oh hi, are you Nigerians? And sometimes the look that they will give me like this, you know, there was one time I went to the mall and I saw some people that were Nigerians, a couple, they were working, and I said hi to them, and they did not answer me. That day, my husband was just laughing at me, because he has warned me that don't be saying hi to all these people. If you smile at them, they don't smile. Don't go and say hi to them, you know. But it's somehow, because I feel like Canada is a very diverse country. So there are lots of people from different countries here in Canada. And in the midst of this plenty of people, you can go a whole week without seeing a black person or a Nigerian. You know, I'm always so happy when I get to see a Nigerian or a black person, and I just say hi to them. But don't make that mistake. Sometimes these people will not be nice to you. So don't have high expectation of your fellow countryman. Everyone is just hustling here, and everybody is just doing their thing, and don't even have a high expectation of them. Even if you have them as colleagues or whatever, don't think that because they are your country person, they will be nice to you, or they'll give you information, they will help you. Don't have high expectation of anybody. If they do for you, you collect it with your heart. If they don't, if you smile to somebody, not smile back, continue your journey. You know, don't be angry or be saying, but this person is my country person. Why is this person not being nice to me? That's what it is here, Sha. The next point is thinking that one source of income is enough to live in Canada. So before coming here, the concept of having multiple jobs was not a thing for me. Like, it was just strange. I know that people have like side businesses that they do. Well, when I mean multiple jobs, it's like you're working 2 full-time jobs in a day. You know, this concept was very new to me, and I soon realized the reason why people were doing 2-3 full-time jobs here in Canada. Firstly, the cost of living here in Canada is very high. You know, most people live from bills to bills, paycheck to paycheck. You know, cost of living is expensive, rent is expensive, food is expensive, everything is expensive. And to top it up, taxes here in Canada is also expensive, especially if you're living in like the big cities. So what most people do is to get 2 jobs or 3 jobs just to help them have some form of breathing space, you know, because it can get really bad. Some people live from bills to bills. You know, they don't have any money. So once they get like 2-3 jobs, it helps them to save money, helps them to be able to do other things that they need money for, you know, because they choke sometimes. Bills, okpo. Sometimes with the extra job, it doesn't necessarily have to be two full-time jobs. It can be that you have a job and then you also do like Uber after work or weekends. I personally, I have a photography business that I do. I have a food business that I do. You know, just having those extra money will help a lot. But some people will call me and say, oh no, I just want to have one job. In fact, I know someone that came here. He had a very good job from Nigeria and it was a remote job. They were willing for him to keep working here. And he also got another offer here in Canada. And he was like, oh, he's a very straightforward person. Like then his friends were advising him, take 2 jobs. Don't resign from that your Nigeria job. Be doing it and take this your offer. He said, no, that's cheating the system. I'm a very straightforward person. I can't be doing 2 jobs. No, it's not proper. He was speaking English. Guys, 2 years down the line, I was talking to the person and then he said, oh, he's doing 3 jobs. And I'm like, what? 3 jobs from where? Like the person I know, you were doing 1 job, you didn't even agree to do 2 jobs. How come you are doing 3 jobs? I was so surprised. And then when I started talking to him, I realized that he just said, this Canada, the bills choke too much. Like even with 1 job, he could not fully pay for his monthly bills, so he has to like take up another job. And then he was doing the second one and then he took up a 3rd job and then he's actually doing 3 jobs. And I'm like, the streets is not smiling. People are hustling in this Canada. I suppose people will say they don't come to Canada to come and look at fine building. They don't come to Canada to come and be inside winter, be inside cold, enter snow and not make money. So people hustle a lot here. You would be surprised with what people are doing, like other side jobs that they're doing to basically survive, to pay bills, you know, to be able to maybe send money back home, just to afford the good things of life. People not understanding that life is happening. I don't know how to put it. Like, so some people come to Canada and before they get here, they had friends from Nigeria that had relocated here, or friends from their home country that have relocated here, and maybe they were very cool friends back home, and they get here. All of a sudden, you're not as close to that person as you used to be. That person has moved on. The person has other friends. So what I want to say is basically is that you need to be okay with the fact that your friends and even family members from back home, now they have other friends as well. Another common mistake I see a lot of people do when they come to Canada is not building a network, or not joining a community, or just isolating yourself, you know. So the thing in Canada is that for you to be able to access a lot of things, be it from the government, from people around you, is information. And you guys, you know, information is power. If you do not network with people, if you just isolate yourself and just be by yourself, you might be missing out on a lot of opportunities, you know, a lot of benefits. Just being part of a community can help you. The information that you're looking for might be within the network that you're in. When I came to Canada, someone told me about a Nigerian WhatsApp group. Guys, this WhatsApp group, we have over 1,000 people in the group. And this WhatsApp group has been a lifesaver for me for a lot of things. I cannot begin to mention it in this video. I'll go there, I'll ask my questions, and everyone in the group is just willing to share. You know, another community that's also helped me is church. You know, going to a Nigerian church has helped me because I'm surrounded by Nigerian people. People share information about jobs, about different things, you know. So some people will come here and they say they don't want to associate themselves with anybody. I'm building a new life. I don't want to associate myself with people. I want to be alone. That can be detrimental to you assessing information, assessing opportunities, even with getting a job. In Canada, referral play a big role in people getting jobs. Employers like to employ people that are being referred by maybe their current employees. So that is where networking comes in. One thing I also want to mention is not keeping quiet about whatever it is that you're going through. You can have a burden in your heart, you can be going through something and you're keeping quiet, and you basically don't have the solution to the problem you're going through. But if you're able to open your mouth and share and just ask questions, maybe on the group, or ask somebody the question, they're able to suggest different ways by which you can handle that situation. Because what I realized from being in that WhatsApp group is that some people that are on the WhatsApp group have been here for 5, 10, even 20 years they've been on the group. So some of the challenges that I'm facing that I'll ask on the group, I would always see someone that will reply, because there's high chance that one or two people have experienced what it is that I'm going through at that particular time. The next point will be cargoing items from your home country, like food items. Some people will not agree with me with these points, but I personally think that it is stressful to cargo food items from your home country. Most of these items, they're in the African shop here. If you cargo items, sometimes you pay high taxes. You spend time going to the airport or going to wherever you're going to pick it. So just walking to the African store would save you that time, and even the money you think that you're trying to save by cargoing some items from, for example, Nigeria. You might end up spending it on taxes, on transport to go and get the items from where you're picking up from. So you want to weigh your cost. If it saves you money to cargo items, oh, fine and good. But personally, I really think that it is just not worth it for me. And sometimes this cargo, I've seen someone that cargoed fish and some things from Nigeria. Before it got to her, the fish don't spoil. Do you understand? Like, the fish was bad, completely bad. So sometimes it's not worth it. I just walk into my African shop and I buy my items. In fact, I have a video where I shared my experience going to an African shop. I'm sure I'm going to link it down in the description box so that you can go and watch that video. You can see all of the things that are there. Most of these African shops, they have everything that you need. What are you looking for? Is it yam? Is it gari? What is it? Is it egusi? Whatever it is you're looking for, it's there. So sometimes it's just like waste of time, money, and even risking the fact that some of the items can go bad. These people that run these African shops, they are experts in it. They know how they ship. They have their suppliers. They have a process that they've been using over the years that's helped them to be able to ship these things. They have their way, so that's their business, and they do it really well. So I really just think that sometimes cargoing items can be a waste of time, money, and sometimes these items also go bad. Shopping from expensive stores, you can get things cheaper, but if you don't know, you don't know. Like, you just don't know what you don't know. I remember when I just came to Canada, I used to buy groceries, food stuff from one of all those big chain stores, and their prices, as at then, it was expensive for me. But I'm just like, I was thinking that every other shop, right, they used to sell like that, until it was even in church that somebody just mentioned to me that after church she was going to a flea market, a farmer's market. I said, farmer's market? She said, that there's a farmer's market where everything is cheap there, like farmers come and sell their things, and I did a video of my experience going to one of these farmers shop. I'm going to link it in the description box. Guys, when I went there, the price difference from buying from the regular big chain stores and from buying from the farmers market was completely different. And as new immigrants, you want to save money. You want to save. In fact, even if you're not a new immigrant, you always want to save money in life. Just having this information changed my life completely, and that's where talking about being in a community is very important. If I was not, if I wasn't in church that day, if I wasn't speaking to that lady, she would not have mentioned that there's a farmer's market. I would not know. You don't know what you don't know. Since then, guys, I always go to that farmer's market because the prices were too cheap to be true, and the items were very fresh. It just came from the farm. Do you understand? Like, farmers will come, they will sell. Other than food stuff, there are other places you can also get cheap items from. And if you don't know, you don't know. Even in terms of thrifted items, even just consignment shops that sell new items as well. I have a video that I did on my channel talking about different thrift shops here in Canada and kind of things that they sell. I'll link it as well in this video so you can go and watch that video. You know, most important thing is information. Once you get this information, and I'm happy that you're watching this video because this will help you to understand that there are cheaper alternatives to all of these things, even with household items. When I came to Canada, I was buying my things from big chain stores, and later on I realized that there were dollar shops that you can just go and buy you the same item but it's cheaper. So guys, don't make this mistake, renting an expensive accommodation. And talking about renting an expensive accommodation, this can be relative, right? What is expensive to me might not be expensive to you. I'll always advise that you take your time you can decide to move to a semi-permanent accommodation just for the meantime. Understand how the system works, understand your financial position, you know, like if you've gotten a job, if you like the job, what you're paying, you know, all of those things. You want to get as much information about your financial status here before moving on to rent an expensive accommodation. What I've seen mistake that people make is that they come in here because they want to get like live in houses that have fine views, you know, those things that you see on social media, or fine houses, high rise, all of those things, which is nice. I mean, everybody wants the finer things of life, but they come here, they rent those houses, and then after a few months they are unable to pay their rent, and that's because maybe the bills is too much for them. They're not able to pay their rent, and then they start to look for other accommodation, or they just be in a mess. You know, you want to avoid that kind of mistake as much as possible. So take your time to do your research and be in a financially stable position before you rent like an expensive accommodation. And then this also ties down to the next point, will be people buying cars too soon or buying expensive cars. I'm not going to lie, having a car in Canada is very necessary. It's a necessary thing to have, but if you're single, it's okay to take your time, you know, to do more research about the car that you want to buy. I understand if you're a family person, you have kids, you know, you need car to maybe take them from one point to another. That's fine. You know, you can buy a car. But if you're single, right, I would just advise you take your time to buy a car. I know someone that when she came the very first week she came, she went to buy a car. She said, oh, the weather is cold. Yes, it's true. Like, Canada can be cold during winter and all of that. But the transportation system is also really good. So one thing I noticed is that after she bought the car, she did not do much research about the car. She just went to buy a car. And the car was giving her issues. She didn't get mechanic to check the car, nothing. She had spent money buying car, and she's spending money fixing the car. So what I'm saying is that do not rush to buy a car. Take your time, because it's not about buying the car. You also will pay for insurance. And then if you are living in an apartment that does not have parking assigned to you, you also pay for parking. There are different things. And then you change the tire of car during all of the seasons. Winter, you have to put winter tire. If it's when the weather comes, when it's spring and summer, you have to use another type of tire. So there's so much expenses that's involved in having a car. So you want to do it the right way, not being open to change. So some people come into Canada and they just want to keep living like they were living in their home country. So for some people, before they moved to Canada, maybe they had really successful careers back home, and then they come here and then they're trying to get their dream job and they're not getting it, and become depressed, they say they want to go back home and they don't want to try to get something else. So let's say, for example, you were a manager at the company you were working in before, and you come here, you've been searching for a job for months and you've not gotten your dream job, and people are advising you, okay, why don't you try this job, try this type of job, and then you're saying, no, it can never be me. I've never done that kind of job, blah blah blah. As far as you are able to pay your bills and it's not an illegal job, I don't think there's anything wrong in that. So you should be open to change. It's not even only about job, just be open to change generally, being open to understanding that you are not going to be, you are, maybe the ways of life where you're coming from is not the same here. This is Canada, the other day I was talking to someone and she's like, oh, this person is greeting me and he cannot even dobale. And I'm like, maybe they did not train that person to dobale. Do you understand? You're used to people dobaleing for you in Nigeria. When they want to greet you, they'll go down. But here, this person's parents did not train the person like that. The person not dobale, and you're angry. Why are you angry? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, just being open to change. Even changing in food, changing weather, changing, just, it's a new country that you're moving to. Something completely different from where you're coming from. I think you should be open to change. It helps you a lot for your mental health and also for you to get settled in easily. Another mistake I see people make is new immigrant make after they've lived here over maybe months is settling for less. So some people, when they come here, maybe the kind of jobs that they wanted to get, they were not securing those type of jobs, and they had to maybe do menial jobs or do jobs that they don't like to do just because they need to get by, they need to pay bills. And you see them doing the jobs, and instead of them to keep pushing, trying to get the dream job that they originally wanted to get, they just settle for that job. And it's not bad, but it's just that it's okay to settle just because you need to pay bills and you can get by with what it is. But I don't think God made you to just settle, God wants you to live a happy life. Like this, you're moving here and this might potentially be your new home. You want to make sure that you're making it comfortable for you or happy, and being happy is all around. Like, you want to be happy with your job, happy with your family, you just want to live a healthy life, and so if you're settling in a situation, in this case a job that is not your purpose, it's not what you want to do, you just see that this person is just living and there's no purpose, there's no joy, there's no happiness in the person's life, it's very easy for people to settle and just settle. Let me just keep doing it. But I'm here to encourage you and to tell you that you can move on from that. You can strive to be better. Don't have that settling mentality, basically. And then some people come here and they don't have any contingency plan, and I'm like, why? Some people come here with so much high expectations. Like, they come and they say, oh, in my first month, I want to be able to make this amount. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. It's good to have goals. So it's good to have all of those things set out that you want to achieve. But then I also believe in preparing and just having an alternative plan. For example, let's say you're an accountant in your home country and then you come here and you're looking for accountant jobs, but you're not getting accountant jobs. It's okay to look for another career and pivot, and not just be stuck up in the idea that, oh, I'm an accountant, I must be an accountant all the days of my life. You'll be surprised how many different career paths and industries are out there for you to explore, and you might even have like transferable skills from like the profession that you were already in. in your home country, you know. So the idea for me is just being open to change, having other plans, and even apart from pivoting to a new career, you can decide to be an entrepreneur. Oh, I've never owned a business, it's fine, there's always a starting point. So much resources online. You can go online, search for resources, and start to learn from them, you know. Just being open to change and having like contingency plan will really help you a lot, like in Canada. Because that's one mistake I see a lot of people make. They say, oh no, I can't do that because this is not my career path. I've always been a lawyer. I cannot do another thing. Please have plan that if your career path doesn't work for you, what other thing can I do? Can I start a business? Can I pivot into another industry, you know? Just being open to change and having like another plan really would help. And finally, guys, the last common mistake I see a lot of people make when they come to Canada is not enjoying their life. Just living to pay bills, you know, not being happy, you know, and before you know, you're getting older and life just goes by, you know. It's understandable to just keep living like that because of how much bills people get to pay here in this side of the world, mostly because their monthly bills, you know, it can be very choking. But I would want to say that try to enjoy your life. Live for the moment. Be very intentional about enjoying life, about living, smiling, being positive minded, like thinking of good things, just basically enjoying your life, you know. Even this money you're chasing, right? If you can't enjoy the money, then why are you chasing the money? Basically, you know. So be very intentional about taking trips, about taking care of yourself, taking out time to do the things that you like, you know, that gives you joy and gives you happiness. So with this point, I have come to the end of this video. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. I took my time to just share what mistakes that I have made, mistakes that I see my friends make, mistakes that I see people make as new immigrants in Canada. I hope that you've learned a thing or two from this video. If you did, you already know what to do. Please support your girl by subscribing to this channel, sharing this video with your friends and your family members. Share it on all your WhatsApp groups that you're in. Share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, share it on all of the social platforms. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.